It's fantasy-esque, and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, the pack celebrated Prince Ed's birthday into a teen. He inherited the dance machine trait, turning out to be quite the handsome party prince. Lady Helen began his training, and it took only 2 sessions before he defeated the Kennel Master in armed combat. Things escalated at the castle on Tuesday night when Eugene declared his love for Ed and decided to officially court him. The two discovered they were fated mates and entered into a relationship. In secret, however, Harvey realized he was also in love with his younger brother Ed, but nothing can come of it because such unions are forbidden in werewolf society. It is Thursday night, and we are almost to the time when Ed is going to age up into a teenager, which I'm very excited about because he is the result of my favorite werewolf pairing. Why are these people wearing wedding dresses again? I don't know. So obviously I'm very invested to see how he actually turns out. Like, if we're talking about conception time, I was the most excited for Ed's conception because I was convinced that his mother and father were going to have the most beautiful baby ever. So I cannot wait to see how Ed looks. Obviously, there are other kids in the family that I've become interested in because of their personality or the way their stories have developed. Like Ed and Charlie, I did say I liked him best, in child form, so we'll have to see how he turns out as well. But definitely Ed, from his conception, I was most excited for. But it is midnight. I don't want to wait too long to give him his, birthday. So I think what we'll do, I do have some notes to go through. I kind of want to do his birthday now, though, and then have his makeover because I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through the notes, and then it is Friday morning, they do have to go to school, so I'm actually going to get him to come right here. And look at I was going to say elf. No, look at Edwin, guys. He is playing chess with his father. One thing I have to really appreciate about him is that despite the troubles his parents have had in their fated mate relationship and becoming enemies and all, Edwin has consistently maintained a relationship with his father, and that hasn't wavered. No matter what Helen does, this hasn't wavered, and it makes me so happy because I really like Ralph. In his generation, Ralph was my favorite suitor that we had. So you know what, let's come here and blow out the candles. We're not going to wait too long. I'm going to turn him into a teen, and then we are going to see what trait he gets, plus his makeover. Obviously, his outfit's all going to be the same as he has as a child, but he's going to be older, and that's going to look pretty cool. Okay, Edwin. I'm also excited for the drama we may potentially get, because he's not related to any of the other boys, so he could have another romance going on. And let's take a look at you, buddy. Okay. He is, I'm not gonna lie, I think he is attractive. He is a good-looking boy. He's got good-looking features. Maybe once we finish with the makeover, he's gonna look even better, but he's cute. Okay, let's fix him up and see how he looks. I finished the makeover for Master Edwin Empire as a teen. We're gonna take a close-up look at his face, quickly go through his outfits, and then have a brief talk about the trait that he randomized, which was athletic. So I don't know if you guys will kind of see the same thing I'm seeing, but I feel like Edwin looks a bit like Elma, but a little bit prettier. He's got a touch more of feminine in his features. I don't know, that's just what I feel like. But this is him, as expected. He is quite a good-looking boy. Definitely is. He's got a pretty side profile too. I will say, I am still partial to Ed. I am still partial among the teens. I like Javi a lot too, but in terms of appearance, I think I'm still partial to Ed. But Edwin, he's a predictable pretty boy, I feel. So let's quickly go through his outfits. So, every day we have his formal wear, his athletic armor, which, he's going to have the purple until he's a young adult, and then we'll give him the white color for the Sons of Soul. There's his sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as every day, and cold weather outfit. So that is it for him. And then his werewolf form, which we'll take a look at now. He's got this gray werewolf form. So there we go. And, I'm pretty sure, his father has black. I think his father has a black form for when he's a werewolf. But I decided to give Edwin gray, like a darker gray, but So, he randomized the trait athletic, and I feel like that fits very well for his character and where he's been growing up, because I think Edwin, he's always been inclined, like the slob, I interpret that as him being feral rather than him being dirty per se. And I like the idea that despite all the expectations that his mother has for him to act a certain way, Edwin, I think that connection with his father has really kind of honed him into what he feels most natural doing, and that is, being a werewolf. So he has continued to, under the encouragement of his father, develop that aspect of his personality. And as he's getting older, we might see that he is just even more naturally inclined to the physical part of being a werewolf, to being outside, doing physical things, doing activities. He is not someone who is going to feel, I think, too connected to the non-werewolf side of his family and the royal history of his mother. He might sympathize with it, he might empathize with it, but I don't think that he is going to want to be that way. He has found a place where he belongs, somewhere he feels really secure, and I think that is something he is not willing to compromise, and at this point his personality might have developed enough to where he doesn't want to compromise, right? So that's what we have for Edwin. It is the early hours of Friday morning, and we are gonna go through the notes for our Sims, starting off with Ed over here. So Ed wants to embrace Master Eugene, so let's go find him. Oh, he's out here playing chess. Guys, you could be just playing chess together, but I suppose not. Let's go embrace. Have they not even had their first kiss yet? Apparently. But hey, I do believe that Ed and Eugene are taking things slowly, mainly on Ed's side. I feel like Eugene has confessed his feelings and done his share and pretty much established that they have a fated connection, and really it's Ed who's kind of deciding the pace of the relationship, because he's the one that suddenly had a perspective shift, and he's the one who is curious about this and trying to figure it out. I think more or less Eugene is sold on the idea of Ed, and he is totally and utterly committed. I would be very surprised if Eugene did anything to contest that. But I think for Ed, he's still exploring and thinking things through. But anyways, Ed wants to embrace Eugene and explore their relationship further. He's experiencing things that don't make sense to him because all his life he's witnessed failed fated pairings. But now he can't understand how werewolves who feel this way can destroy their relationships. So it's kind of novel to him. Is this how those couples who didn't end up together, is this how they felt? And if this is how they felt, how the heck did they not end up together? He's trying to figure it out. So that is them. The next one we had was with Elma. So Elma wants to get to know Prince Will. Where is his uncle? Let's go find him. Okay, he's up here. Let's go ahead and get to know. We're gonna get off the chess table. He's very, very involved in this game of his. Okay, he is going up. But Elma wants to get to know Will and how he feels about the new rules that Alpha wants to implement. A part of him worries his uncle will feel invalidated because he isn't getting a female successor. So last time we talked about how the Alpha wants one of the boys to take on the role of shepherd. Will getting that role was under special circumstances, and the Alpha really just wants to streamline things a lot more and make it so that everyone who's serving in an important position is the same gender as what the Alpha is going to be. And also I think she's trying to, establish opportunities for all the kids that are here, get as many of them into a role as possible. So did we not do get to know? So Elma, him being his usual considerate self, even if he has become lazy, he's a little bit worried about his uncle. He's wondering how his uncle feels about all of this. He doesn't want Will to be upset over the fact that his role essentially is not being awarded a successor of the opposite gender, because that kind of what legitimizes the fact that you have an official court role. But Will, I think for the most part, is going to, let Elma know that as much as it is an honorable thing for your role to be legitimate, which, it is, but some people might not feel that way, and to have a successor to continue that, for him, he raised all of these boys, and to see them take on his role as well as the other roles would make him really fulfilled and happy. Obviously, the other reason why Elma is worried is because he obviously, he didn't grow up in this dimension. He didn't grow up with Will. So he might have felt differently if he was back in his original home dimension with the shepherd he grew up. He could understand that perspective. But to him, a lot of things still feel foreign. It's almost as though he's been, adopted into this family. So now that Will's saying it, it's making sense to Elma. But initially, the thought didn't cross his mind. He was thinking like an outsider, how Will would feel if, suddenly he or someone else took over his role. So good to know that is being sorted. Next up, we have Helen. Good thing she's here. And apparently she's already completed the whim on her own, but we'll just talk through it. Helen wants to chat with Harvey and commend him in his recent duels with the other werewolves. She can see he has changed a lot from his hesitant younger self, and she feels like it's something worthy of praise. Let me actually go find Harvey and see if we can not yell at. Tell a funny story. Why not? We'll just go and chat with him real quick to say that she has commended him. But Helen definitely is noticing the way how he was when he was younger and the way he is now. He used to run away from a lot of things when he was younger, and he didn't like participating in anything that might show his weakness and potentially his secret that he's a non-wolf, which he believed for a long time. So the fact that he has kind of, transformed so much, especially as a teen, makes her, or I suppose in the latter half of his teen, because he actually doesn't have too many days before he's going to be a young adult. So Harvey and Helen have their birthday on Monday, both on the same day. So that's going to be exciting for him. He's going to become a young adult. But she's really noticed in the latter half of his teenage years, he's kind of picked up the pace quite a lot. So she feels like that is quite good for him. They don't have a close relationship in any capacity. If you look at the panel over here, out of all the boys, she is... This is funny. She's not close to the one evil sim and the one mean sim. Figures, right? Figures. She pretty much likes everyone else except these two. Well, I feel like, Helen doesn't seem to me like someone who would be petty or keep a grudge. I don't know, then again, she's jealous. I'm talking about the kids, I don't think she would be as... Obviously, this could change, but I don't think she'd be as judgmental as Ada with the kids. Like, Ada straight up said no to Ed. She was not happy that his son went for Ed, which is kind of sad. Hey dude, stop running away from us, please. We just want to give you a compliment. We just want to give you a compliment. Can you stop trying to... Let's talk about werewolf experiences. Stop trying to run away from us. Okay, there we go. There we go. You're gonna go chat with him real quick. But I don't feel like Helen would be judgmental in that regard. I think her relationship with the princes kind of just tells us who she feels like has the most potential, like as a kennel master. So she obviously feels as though Elma is, I mean, everyone feels this way. Elma is the best suited. He's been doing the best in training. But she definitely is going to commend Harvey for picking up the pace. Okay, next up we have Ada. So Ada wants to ask Helen about her day. So let's come up here. I might have to like cancel some interactions to get them to listen to me. Hold on. Let's go ahead. I wonder what she's saying to her son. She's talking to Eugene there. Wonder what she's saying. The fact that the alpha is supporting his relationship and his mother is not must be pretty depressing. Okay, she's gonna come and check in on Helen. And she wants to talk to Helen about her decision to end things with Ralph. Ada still has romantic feelings for Helen, but she's worried that Helen's going to regret her decision to become enemies with her fated mate. And I don't know if this is because Ada is thinking about how terribly things went in Catherine, and now she's wishing things could have been different, and a part of her is starting to feel guilty that she's destroying someone else's relationship, or if it's because she is so obsessed with Helen that she doesn't want Helen to suddenly have a realization later down the line and start hating Ada. Because just like Helen recently, why are the dresses? But just like Helen recently came to the realization that she's the one that's been pushing people away and now she's all alone because of the stuff she's doing, Ada's kind of feeling like maybe Helen's gonna start thinking that way about their relationship and how Ada was the cause of it all, and Ada is the one who distracted her. Ada's the one that made her doubt her relationship and pretty much give her relationship up. So she's, I don't know, she's trying to like backtrack a bit, maybe smooth things over, especially because their romantic relationship is like terrible right now. And finally, we have Julia, who wants to make out with Lady Ada. So actually, I'm gonna have to, honey, cut your conversation short over here because Julia is calling you away. This does feel very much like her life. As soon as she tries to do something with someone, Julia pulls her away because Julia wants her attention and Julia gets what Julia wants. So let's come and sit over here. Let's go outside. We'll sit down. And then we can see what's on Julia's mind. Okay. I think Ada's been swimming. Yeah, she's been swimming a lot. No. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, jeez. Guys. Please cooperate. Please cooperate. Ada, put your backside down before she gets up again. Okay. Now where is our romantic interaction? Make out. There we go. So Julia wants to make out with Ada and show a unified front to the rest of the pack. She feels like that's the best way for her to show Ed and Eugene that she supports them in their relationship. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. I don't know what it is about Julia. I feel like in her older years, there's certain aspects of her life which she's becoming more mature. I mean, for the people around her, she still acts very childish, like the way she is with Ada and trying to show she's alpha all the time. But I feel like instances with the youngsters, she definitely is starting to act more maturely. And we know that contrary to Ada's feelings about her son's relationship, Julia actually supports Ed and Eugene being together. She thinks they're compatible with each other. She kind of likes the way they are, or, the things they will bring out when they are a couple in one another. So she very much supports that, and I feel like because they don't have, in this generation, any fated mates to give a good example of what a happy relationship looks like. She is trying to do her best to step it up in her marriage, at least, so that the kids get an idea of what, a happy couple looks like, and that's something they want for themselves as well. Or I think more than that, Julia doesn't want the kids to feel pressured by the fact that one of the parents is not happy with them being together. So maybe Julia believes that if she and Ada, like if there's no problems in their relationship, then the kids won't know that they have a disagreement about this whole thing. So I'm happy the way Julia's acting. I think she is very much, without having to tell people, is acting like an alpha right now. And I highly approve. Oh my goodness, I realized I completely forgot to do his training. So that is exactly what we're going to do. I was, having him do his homework since he can't go to school today. It's going to start from tomorrow, actually Monday. It's going to start from Monday. And then it hit me like, wait, we haven't done his training yet. And now is actually probably the best time because all of the mean boys, they're not here right now. So nobody's going to judge him. And I actually remembered to put both of them in their armors this time around, so we get some cool sword fighting over here. Now, I didn't realize there were multiple sword fighting mods out there. I think, who was I watching? I think I was watching the Ultimate Decades Challenge by Cosmic Hippie, which I'm actually really into right now. I was watching that series, and in it, she uses a sword fighting mod or a fencing mod, something like that. But the animation, it's like different from this, and I don't think it requires you to have the game pack, the Batu game pack, and then the Get Famous expansion. But it has a very simple animation. I mean, it's cool if you need that skill. It's completely different to what we have here. But it's very short. It's very, very short. It's like, I think a couple of swings and then someone basically throws your sword up in the air, and that's it. And I remember her saying that it would be nice to have a longer animation, and to be honest, I feel like the animations and stuff that comes with this particular mod is a lot better because it is longer, and I suppose it makes sense. It was, it's from the lightsaber battles with Journey to Batu, and they've just replaced it with swords. But yeah, there we go. If anyone wants, then, if you want sword fighting in your game, this is one of the mods. If you have the packs, I suppose I highly recommend because it's just so cool. Okay, we need to go and keep doing this. You've lost the first time round, but it's okay. That's nothing to feel upset about. He's angry now. Who is he angry at? He has a festering grudge with his mother, which, it makes sense. I didn't even think about this, but this whole training thing must feel completely different for him because he's not training with the kennel master. He's training with his flippin' mother. I didn't even think about that. And obviously, there's certain things, she said to him before, she's pressured him when he was young to change and become more like her or less like what he feels like he should be. And she's tried to make a point that he shouldn't be having such a close relationship with his father. And I think all of that's kind of built up, and he has a lot of anger towards his mother for being the way that she is and, forcing him to be a certain way when he really doesn't want to, and his personality has crystallized even more so. I think he notices the difference between the way his mother treats him and the way his father treats him. He carries his mother's name, but his father's the one who's always encouraging him to do what he wants to do and be the best that he can be, whereas his mother expects him to be, I don't know if it's the best, but she expects him to be like her. And she finds it hard to stomach. Oh my goodness! I knew he was talented! Okay, so he finished his training in 2 sessions. I suppose he was really channeling his anger the second time around. And, harnessing the rage, which his mother would rather he put away. And look, he's, not happy with this whole situation. She's impressed, more or less, because, her son completed the training. Now, who got it in 2? Was it Eugene did 3? Was it Ed? Sorry if I'm remembering it wrong, guys. I like to just quickly recap how long each of the training sessions took for all the boys whenever a new one finishes, so that I don't forget. But I think, you guys can correct me if I get this wrong, but I think Elma finished in 1 session, Harvey finished in 4 sessions, Eugene finished in 3 sessions, Ed and Edwin finished in 2 sessions. And you know the cutest thing? They're best friends. So I love the fact that the best friends are like on the same pace as each other. I think that's really, really cool. But, you know, it's good that the other siblings, especially Harvey, they're not home. I mean, they might find out about this. Obviously, his mother's gonna brag. They're gonna find out about this when they get back. But I don't know. Might have been rough if Harvey had been here, because it might have been rough, especially with the way the alpha's been talking. I think of late as well, apart from, you know, telling everyone, or like there's rumors and discussions going on, you know. I don't think the alpha has announced it to everyone, but definitely she's talking to people within her own generation, and the talk is kind of trickling down to the youngsters. But it's not just the shepherd's role that is going to be inherited by these boys. They're also hearing talk of there being no class differentiation for the alpha's role, which means the alpha's role is up for grabs for anyone. Previously, that would have meant, like, Edwin doing so well, the princes wouldn't have cared about it so much, because it's not like these masters are going to be their competition for the title of alpha. But now suddenly, with the way their mother's talking, it could very well mean that the title of alpha, it leaves the bloodline. So they're kind of, they might start getting nervous about it, especially people like Harvey. Like, he's working so hard to get his skills up, but then people like Ed and Edwin come along and they are really talented. He doesn't feel bad about Ed because, he's secretly in love with Ed. But he's not related to Edwin. He might not feel the same way about Edwin. He may feel as though Edwin is a threat, and he may decide to do something about it. So, yeah, that's what we have going on for these guys. It's Friday afternoon, and I thought I'd jump in really quickly to show you guys something that I have been doing off camera, getting the werewolves to take turns on the horses every once in a while, or at least I try and get, 2 of the sims every day or 2 days in game to get on these horses and actually do some of these jump training and the barrel training. So right now, mother and son, after their training and, sparring session, they have decided to come outside and do some of this. Now, unfortunately, Edwin here is having a harder time on the horse than his mother is. She seems to be doing decent with Stone, but I think it's more Twilight. Twilight is being a little bit moody, and so she's making it hard for Edwin to do any sort of horse riding. He tried to get on her, and she bucked him off. Let's try this particular jump over there, because this one has to be fixed, and if he gets down from this horse, he might not be able to get back up. So while they're doing this, I'm also making sure that the youngsters are, busy doing their homework, because I don't want to leave the castle grounds until they're done. It's one less thing for me to worry about. Are these posts fine? Yep. Look at how cool that looks. Look at how cool. I feel like once he starts getting the hang of this, he's going to be really good at it. But how are you guys going? He's still going? Nope. Aww. Yeah, he feels uncomfortable from being bucked off the horse. He's trying to socialize and tell a joke, but Twilight just isn't in the mood. She's doing it like once, and that's it. She doesn't really want to keep riding, which is unfortunate. But okay, we'll get you to dismount then. I don't think she's feeling it. Helen, on the other end, is, look at this! Just going quite well with Stone. So right now, I actually, rarely check the horses' profiles, but I think Twilight, she's worth quite a bit. Oh, Twilight! Why are you walking like an old horse? I know she's old, but this makes me sad. With her droopy ears. I don't know why they're sad. I have no clue why. But, I wanted to quickly check. Where do we check the profile? Is it here? I don't know. Is it in actions? Yep, okay. Look at that. She is worth 4,900 simoleons. That is crazy. Obviously, we don't play with money, and we don't really need money. But I assume if you were to, play with horses and take part in competitions at the Equestrian Center, the more competitions you win, I assume the value of your horse would be higher. Because not only is it going to get their skills up, but, they're recognized for being champions and stuff. That's kind of interesting. So 4,900 by comparison. Stone's right now worth would be 1,400. Now, I wonder if they also take into account... I don't think they take into account bloodline, right? Wouldn't that be cool? If you could breed like pedigree horses and they're more expensive than normal horses that you rescue and stuff. I mean, oh yeah, a horse's value is determined by skill levels, awards from competitions, and quality of care received. Yep. So obviously it doesn't have anything to do with the bloodlines, but that would be cool. That would be very, very cool if it was tracked. For sure. Okay, you guys still doing their own things. I'm gonna make sure everyone's homework is done, and then I'll see you guys outside. Right now, nope, Javi's out here actually. Where are the other boys? Are you the only one doing your homework? Because you're so slow? Seriously, Javi. Work faster. Work faster, please. It is Friday night, and we are picking up at the alcove with our pack. We have a couple of notes to go through, starting off with Edwin, who seems to be throwing a bit of a tantrum. You probably shouldn't be yelling at the first prince. Just saying. He's very, very angry. He's got simmering rage. Is he pissed off at his father too? No, look, he's good friends with his father. Oh my goodness. It's telling because Ralph is hot-headed, and despite that, he has a good relationship with his son. Whereas Helen, look at this. She doesn't have the hot-headed trait, or the mean trait, or the evil trait, but she's got a very turbulent relationship with her child, and I think that's it. It's because she's close by, and that's the issue. Wait, do they have a turbulent relationship? Okay, now you just made the first prince angry. Oh no. It's a full moon too? Oh, I didn't realize it was a full moon. He's gonna do some push-ups. Wait, no, sit-ups. What am I saying? He's gonna do sit-ups. But, I guess he and the others are gonna be changing. Does this mean Eugene? No, Eugene has transformed, no? I think Ed and Edwin are gonna have their first transformation into wolves together. That is so cute. The fact that best friends are going to transform together on the same night. They're gonna go through this experience with each other. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. But let's go through the notes. I might not actually be able to complete the whims as they start transforming, because look, everyone is now transforming. So you know what? We're gonna hang on with them to see them through their transformation, and then I'll just go through the notes while everyone is running rampant. Edwin's transforming! Oh my goodness. Here you go. There we go. And we can compare. Oh geez, Ralph, did you have to run off? I wanted to compare your appearance with your son's. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't realize this because we don't see we don't see the parents always in werewolf form, and I don't compare the werewolf form's appearance often, but Ralph he's got the black wolf, and then Helen has the black spotted wolf. which I didn't even realize that's the union they had. And so these two together had a dark gray wolf child. That is pretty cool. That was unintentional, I will say. But this is what he looks like, and Ed is transforming for the first time as well into his wolf. Let's take a look, Ed. Oh, he's a black wolf? Or is he a dark brown wolf? I think he's like a black brown wolf. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that. So he's black brown, and Edwin is gray. Interesting. Well, he seems to be having a relatively easy time of it. Also, has no one achieved transformation mastery? I swear, guys, no one's achieved transformation mastery. No one. Wait, what? Text with wild disregard for all that is sacred? What? I'm gonna say he's writing a note to his best friend. That was so cute. He was writing a note to Edwin about something as a werewolf. These two are adorable. Okay, anyways, let's go through the notes for our simmies. So starting with Edwin, he wants to get to know Ada, which obviously ain't gonna happen. And Charlie, look at him. He's like digging in the atmosphere, surrounded by all these crazy raging werewolves. He doesn't care. He's busy doing his own things. Oh, that's cool. Okay, where the heck is Ada? Sometimes, you know what's funny, guys? At this point, I have learned a lot of the werewolf forms for our males, but I am still confused with all the members in our own pack. If you asked me who these people were, I would be confused. I would be very confused. Okay, Ada's over here. Ada's over here. Hold on, Ada. Hold on. So Edwin wants to find out why his mother insists on being her mistress. He feels like Helen has a chaotic personality and he doesn't understand why the alpha's wife would want to be involved with her. Obviously, he can't do anything except snarl at her, so we're totally not going to queue up that interaction, but that is what was on his mind. He is going to speak to her later. I will deal with it all off camera, but he wants to know what is so intriguing about his frustrating and chaotic mother that the alpha's wife, who is in such a dignified position, would want to go ahead and get involved with her. He just can't understand. And I think he attributes... Is this Helen intimidating her own son? Helen, back up. But he doesn't understand, and I think he attributes part of the mess his father and mother's relationship is in due to Ada. But obviously she's like a respected figure, so he can't exactly go and tell her why the heck he's screwing up. Like, she's screwing up his family. He just wants to ask, and he wants to know, like, what's happening. Actually, this might not have been Helen. Who's this? Who is this? Who are you snarling at? Is that Ben? Is that Lord Ben? Some of these werewolves I am unfamiliar with. That might not have been Helen. No, that is Helen! Helen, I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Okay. I'm just getting confused here. So next up we have Ed. So let's jump to Prince Ed and take a look at what he wants. So he wants to embrace Master Eugene. Obviously, when there are werewolves, the only thing I can queue up are mean interactions. It seems everyone, even people who have transformation mastery, just transform in a rage, and all they can do is be aggro. So, But anyways, he wants to tell Eugene that he's gotten quite attached to him. It definitely wasn't love at first sight, but he can't imagine going back to a time when he didn't have these feelings of intense like. So I don't think he's at love just yet, but he definitely has become a lot closer to Eugene. Is this Eugene over here? Are you showing attitude to Eugene? I think I remember the gray and blonde being Eugene. But yeah, he's really liking basically the space that he is in now, and he's becoming more and more attached to Eugene always being there and having access to him and, you know, being affectionate with him. He's getting used to it. So there we go, and then we are jumping to Helen. Helen, did she run away? Of course she ran away. Helen ran away, guys. Okay. Well, what did Helen want to do? Helen wanted to go chat with Jesse and find out more about Catherine. She knows he's the last person to have a physical relationship with her and that they had a child together who ran away. She feels like he's the only one who can really tell her about Ada's fated mate. So Helen is becoming more and more curious about Ada's past. I think this is part of her whole process of, self-realization and figuring out that nobody is making her life a living hell except herself. And someone must have said something, like maybe the servants were talking, people were whispering, maybe someone said something about Helen looking and acting exactly like Catherine. And obviously Catherine was way before Helen's time, so she doesn't even she doesn't know who Catherine is. This is just a name she's been familiar with, and now it's bothering her. Before she might not have cared, but now it's bothering her that people seem to believe she looks and acts like Ada's first mate, and now she's starting to think, is that why Ada was interested in me? Is that why Ada is so inclined towards me, despite being, because even a part of her must have been wondering, why would the alpha's wife, you have the alpha, why would the alpha's wife want to take on a mistress as lowly as me? So now, putting her, royal heritage and pride aside, she's trying to think through things, and it's bothering her that she's got that resemblance to Catherine. So she's trying to figure out more about who Catherine was, and I think the legitimacy of these claims. And she feels like the only person she can go to is Jesse, because obviously Ada's not going to tell her anything. What's happening? Oh, that was so cute. Wait, was that? Nope. Okay, that was not cute. That might have been Ben, actually. That might have been Ben. It was Ben! She and her brother were running together, because Ben is her brother, which I feel like we don't talk about, so we might forget. But yes, they're siblings. That was cute. They were kind of running together for a bit. So there we go. She wants to learn more and figure out more of the tragic history of that family, which, Jesse, he's definitely faded into the background a lot more. He eats a lot of cake these days. And we haven't seen him in his human form for, I feel like, decades, but he definitely had a bit of a tragic, I feel like, time in the pack. In the beginning, I definitely feel like at this point, he's one of the big boys that nobody wants to mess with, especially because of how long he's been here. He was one of the first males to join us, but he failed at quite a few of the matches. Eventually, he matched with Catherine, but, there was nothing too special there. He never found a fated mate of his. He had one child with Catherine. Catherine ended up dying not long after, and then that son they had, he ran away, so Jesse could never have a proper relationship with his son Herman, if you guys remember. So a lot of things happened in quick succession and very close to one another. I think Herman ran away just before Prince Alfred died, and the chaos of that. So, and then on the same day that Alfred died, Lily died. So yeah, there was a lot of craziness happening, and a lot of pain for the pack, in one go. But he, since then, has faded into the background. He's not really in the forefront regarding a lot of things, and I feel like because of that, he's someone who probably doesn't have a lot of secrets to keep and things to hide. So, it's in the records, his relationship with Catherine and stuff. So for Helen, he's probably the most appropriate person to seek out for an explanation. So there we go. And plus, he's got no immediate attachment to the alpha and no immediate attachment. Is everyone turning back? I think they will be. And no immediate attachment to Ada. So it's not like he's trying to cover for Ada and hide things. So there we go. And then the final note we had with Queen Julia. So Julia wants to chat with Jesse as well and know what he spoke about with Helen. She's a busybody. So she's curious about what everyone in her pack is doing and wants to be up to date on their activities. It strikes her as odd that Helen and Jesse would talk. So she never sees them together. They're in completely different circles, really. They have no attachment in terms of the matches, of children, of, even a romantic attachment. So she finds it, I don't know, maybe like a bit of a red flag. Like, why is, or just a flag in general, but why is Helen talking to Jesse and they seem like they're having a deep conversation? So what exactly are they talking about? She's a busybody. She wants to know. She's the alpha. She feels like she has to know everything. So there we go. That's what's going on in the minds of all our enraged werewolves right now. It is Saturday morning and we are starting off with Eugene, who wants to embrace Prince Ed. So let's go and find these two. I'm really curious when they're gonna have their first kiss. They're doing a lot of embracing with each other, but I haven't seen any sort of motions towards a first kiss or potentially a woohoo or anything like that. But Eugene wants to embrace Ed and take more initiative in approaching him. He's been worried about spooking the third prince with the strength of his feelings, so he's been letting Ed set the pace. But after Ed's recent talk regarding how he feels, Eugene is feeling more confident and reassured. So after everyone transformed back into their human forms, I went ahead and completed all of the whims that they had, and this is kind of the aftermath of that. We definitely have been seeing, since I feel like Eugene confessed to Ed, his mother must have shown her dissatisfaction, but ever since he confessed to Ed, he's been letting Ed kind of set the tone for the relationship and decide what they want to do and how far they want to go, but he has kind of been containing himself because I think his like for Ed is so intense that, or his love pretty much, he's like already jumped in on the deep end, but Ed is still in the liking phase, right? He's in the liking/attraction phase. Eugene, though, he doesn't want to freak Ed out and have Ed running the other way because, every example in his life has shown him that fated mates for one reason or another just don't work out. So he's wondering whether the, craziness, like being crazy in love, can be a turnoff. So that's him. But I think ever since Ed told him that, like, after the transformation, that he can't imagine a time, not liking Eugene, and he's so happy in the relationship that they're in, he feels more confident. He's less freaked out about Ed running away. So yeah, there we go. Next up we have Elma, and I think Elma's the only other one we have notes for this time around. He wants to cloud gaze with Ada. So where is Ada? He's down here. Let's get these two outside. Let's see. Let's cloud gaze with one another. Yes? Okay, good. So Elma wants to cloud gaze with Ada, and wait, are you actually going to interact with her? Please tell me you're going to interact with her. What is she? Ah, jeez. Okay, hold on. Hold the flip on. Where is she? Right. Cloud gaze. Oh, cloud gaze. Come on. Don't be freaked out. Good. So he wants to cloud gaze with Ada and speak up for Ed's relationship with Eugene. Everyone can see that they're happy with one another, and he's a little worried about Ada's dissatisfaction. He thinks they should let the youngsters be. So obviously, even though Julia's trying her best to put a unified front about, the royal opinion of Ed and Eugene, I think Ada, from time to time, is letting things slip that she's not too happy with Ed for her son. And Elma is also intuitive, he's very, I feel like, in touch with other people's emotions. Oh, look at him, he deserves a pristine reputation. And so I feel like he can see that something's wrong on Ada's side, but he feels like that's unfair. They should let the youngsters be. He's, the protective older brother of everyone, related or otherwise. And I mean, Eugene is his stepbrother. Ed is his younger brother. He's, he wants to tell his stepmom to just calm the flip down. So there we go. Elma's being Elma, and he's being really nice about it. The other note he had, so he wanted to chat with Lord Jesse. So, okay, bonding time's over. Where's Jesse? Let's go find Jesse. Jesse? Are you not here? Did I not get everyone to... Oh, my bad. Okay, my flippin' bad. We need Jesse to come back. Where's Jesse? Wait, Elma. Jesse, are you here yet? Okay, I am just gonna have to teleport him over. No problemo. So I'm just gonna teleport Jesse. Let's grab this. Pop him right over here. Okay, come on, let's summon Jesse. Jesse! Guys, Jesse actually this time around after the full moon, he transformed back into his human self. So let's just share people person tips. Yeah, why not? So Elma here, guys, he wants to welcome Jesse back to the world of humanity. The pack hasn't seen Jesse in his human form for many years. They know losing his sister, niece, son, and Catherine took a toll on his emotions, but is finally back. And I completely forgot about this before when I was talking about Catherine and Herman. Yes, Jesse lost Catherine, and he lost... at the time, Catherine was the Alpha's second wife, and he lost his son Herman, but we're kind of forgetting about the fact that Edith, the Alpha's first wife, was Jesse's sister. So he lost his sister. She died from hysteria literally right after her wedding to the Alpha. And then he lost, obviously, Catherine. His son ran away. And then he had his niece, Lillian, Will's son, Will's daughter. Will's and Edith's daughter, Lillian. She was the last one left that Jesse had any sort of relationship with and, like a family relationship with or connection with. And then she ended up dying on the castle grounds because she froze to death. So his whole life, actually, now that I think about it, that's quite depressing. His whole life has been losing people and, being abandoned, essentially, left alone, and I feel so sad for him. I think all of that combined, like death after death after death / running away, the disconnection is what threw him to the deep end, and he probably just found his emotions like boiling over, and then he transformed into his wolf, and he never really wanted to transform back because the rage probably kept him grounded, whereas in his human form he kind of felt like he would just lose it and die from an overload of emotions. So all this time, that's been the best way for him to process everything that's happened. He's felt the most comfortable, the most guarded in his werewolf form, but finally after all these years he has transformed back to humanity and returned to everyone in the pack. I think he's finally started getting his emotions in order, so that's really good. And definitely part of that must have been look, Helen's here as well talking to him, but part of that definitely must have been Helen inquiring about things. And obviously when she inquired about things, she must have struck a chord in him. Like, essentially it might have been therapeutic is what I'm saying. Like having someone that he could talk to about everything that happened and the people associated with him in his past, even if it might not have been everyone. I suppose he would have had to talk about his sister Edith if he spoke about Catherine, because part of Catherine's personality, or a huge part, was the jealousy, which we see in Helen as well. And that jealousy was kind of first ticked off during the wedding, I think, because Edith, his sister, and Catherine, they both got married to the Alpha on the same day. So he would have had to talk about all of that, so it would have been very therapeutic for him to, talk through his emotions and untie the knots in his heart. And so when the full moon finished this time, not long after, he decided that he would transform back into his human form, which is actually very, very nice. Ah, my heart feels a little bit full now. Feels just a little bit fuller. We are picking up on Saturday afternoon with our pack members at the circus. You know, I think my favorite location out of all the locations in Chestnut Ridge is probably the circus here. I don't know, I love it so much. But we are gonna begin going through our notes with Harvey. So Harvey here, Harvey wants to cloud gaze with Julia. So what is she doing? Oh, she's out here with everyone, having a not so good time. I thought they were bonding, but I think Charlie's throwing a tantrum. And also, I did not realize that Charlie and Harvey have very similar formal wear. It's both red. It's not exactly the same. I think the diamonds on the front of Charlie's one is a little bit darker than what Harvey has, but actually, yeah, if you put them next to each other, Harvey's sleeves and stuff, it's just a little bit lighter, but very, very similar. Honestly, they should be besties, no? Oh my goodness, Jesse's yelling at Harvey? Why? I don't know. But anyways, you guys, you need to go. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut everyone's conversations because he has to go cloud gaze with his mother. So let's send them cloud gazing. And he wants to do this because he wants to strengthen his relationship with his mother before his birthday into young adulthood. He's determined to be better than his older brother, but he's also worried about Julia's decision to allow every young male in the pack to fight for her position. We spoke a little bit about this, I think, earlier in this chapter, but Harvey is getting nervous. He's getting nervous that, there's talk. I mean, like I said, the Alpha hasn't officially announced it, but there is talk that boys outside the bloodline will be allowed to fight for the title of Alpha. And now he's not just competing with his brothers, he's got 2 more people that he didn't want to compete with, and both of them seem to be more talented than him. So yeah, it's freaking him out a little bit. I think the only person that Harvey could stand to see win Alpha other than him would be Ed, because, he's in love with Ed. But I don't think he would want to see anyone else, brother or otherwise, winning that title of Alpha. But I think he also has this sense of, I don't know, privilege and pure-bloodedness. I feel like with Harvey, him being the way he was at a young age and, having that fear that he was not going to turn into a werewolf, and it was partially because he had a bastard's line. Oh, this is so cute! But yeah, him potentially having that problem because he was from a bastard's line, I think that fear did a complete 180. The fear of being from a polluted lineage did a complete 180 once he did transform after becoming a teenager, and I think he started feeling a sense of superiority in terms of his bloodline. He was, a pure-blooded werewolf and a royal pure-blood at that, which is why he transformed without any problems, and his line was always perfect and there was nothing to worry about. I think he did a 180 in that regard. And so now there's a fear, what if someone outside the bloodline takes the title? I mean, yes, it'll be terrible if his brothers take it, but it'll be so much more worse if he has to serve under an Alpha that doesn't stem from the royal lineage. This person would have been someone who essentially would have ranked below him his whole life, ever since birth, and then suddenly he has to be subservient to them. I don't think Harvey's gonna like that very much. So he's trying to chummy up to his mother, see if maybe he can change her mind, or see if, the rumors are true. So that's Harvey for you. The next note we have is with Prince Elma. This is actually really, really telling right over here. The fact that the Alpha just spent time with Harvey, but then she went straight up to Elma and she hugged him because Elma is still her favorite child. He is still her favorite child. And actually, if we look at her relationship panel right now, I feel like if we take like everyone into account, it is quite clear that she feels Elma is gonna make the best alpha. She's felt this for the longest time. It's what she believes, and she's convinced that, you know what, I think also that there probably isn't a threat of it going to someone else. After Elma, she, feels strongly about Ed, and then after him, about Harvey, and then Charlie, Eugene, Edwin. Basically, in her mind, I don't even think it's a problem for her to allow, and I love how Harvey. I find it funny how Harvey just butts into the conversation here, because he wants to be a part of it. But I don't think the alpha feels as though there's a huge risk of the title going outside the bloodline, because she believes her 4 sons are quite strong and talented, and they'll win the title no problem. So, yeah, it's that. But also, wanting the strongest male, or the strongest child to be able to lead the next generation, someone who's gonna more or less have the capability and capacity to protect the people around them. Also, before we continue and before I forget, after their transformation, some of the Sims actually got some quirks. Dormant abilities. There we go. Dormant abilities, right? And those Sims were Harvey and Julia. So, one more thing for them to bond after, but they both got this. Werewolf Menace. Enjoy scaring Sims and feel no guilt about it. Queen Julia has given in to the beast within and now has a thirst for chaos. Scaring others will now make her feel playful. Sure, it's not nice to antagonize someone who is already terrified, but Queen Julia left nice on the side of the road a long time ago. And she has this exact same ability with Harvey, which kind of blows my mind. So both of them are bullies. They're both bullies, which is definitely not going to be as sinister as, Harvey being a bully. But, scary stuff. Okay, Elma, he wants to go chat with Lord Jesse. So let's go find Jesse. Wait, Jesse. Harvey just became good friends with Edwin. Okay. I wonder how that's going. Has he heard of how Edwin did? I assume he has heard that Edwin did really well, and so he was really curious about Edwin. Harvey definitely seems like the type of person who would befriend you just to get information on you. Totally seems like that. Okay, but we need to teleport. Oh, where you going? You're gonna go speak to your father? Where is your father? Like, seriously, where is he? Oh, he's over here. Okay, well, I'm gonna teleport Jesse, and then we are gonna get them to have a nice chat. So let's get Jesse over here. Oh, right. This way. Excellent. Some of the Sims seem to have gone home, but we're gonna discuss interests. So Elma wants to help Jesse get used to being a human again. Oh, that was such a cute job. Talk to him. Talk about the sunny weather. Come on, talk to him. Go socialize. Okay, good. So Jesse's been in werewolf form for so long, some things might be unfamiliar. Jesse's also more emotionally complex and vulnerable now than he was before. Like I said, him being in his werewolf form subdued a lot of emotions, except, anger. So he was able to basically block out the things that were causing him pain. He didn't feel sad anymore and empty because he was always filled with rage. So now that he's back, Elma, being the, empathetic prince he is trying to help Jesse through any troubles he might be having so he can ease back into his life, being a human again with everyone, which is so sweet of him. So next up, we have a note with Helen. She's been socializing a lot with her son lately. She's been trying a lot, but I think we have all noticed that Edwin, he never seems too pleased when he is spending time with his mother. So Helen here wants to go yell at Lord Ralph. Again, a bit of a 180 from the apology she gave him not too long ago. But she's gonna find... Oh no, wrong person. Where's Ralph? Ralph! Where are these people going? It's fine. The power of teleportation is amazing. Let's teleport Ralph over. Okay, right over here in front of everyone. You guys can have some nice family time. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Wait, what? I suppose he doesn't count as... counts as romantic interest. Okay, yell at him in front of your son. I'm sure your son's gonna love that. Malicious arguments? Yell at. Yell at. Okay, there we go. So, she's yelling at him. I feel so bad for Ralph. And look, Edwin's watching it all. He's watching it all. Anyways, Helen wants to yell at Ralph because her relationship with Edwin has been more difficult ever since he became a teenager. She thinks it's because Ralph is filling their son's ears against her, when that's not really what's happening. I think the actual situation is that now that Edwin is older, he's noticing the way his father acts with his mother and the way his mother acts with his father. Especially, he's noticing what his mother says to him about his father and what his father says to him about his mother. His mother is always complaining about his father, but his father never complains about Helen. He's always just trying to, guide Edwin the best he can and encourage Edwin. Like, when they socialize, their interactions are limited, or their topics are limited to good things about father and son, not bad things about the mother. So I think Edwin, as someone who isn't too emotionally complicated and isn't too inclined towards, games and politics in the pack, he finds it very... Look at him! He's back there doing sit-ups. He's like, I'm a werewolf. I'm a werewolf. I'm a strong werewolf. I'm a pure-blooded werewolf. I'm an amazing werewolf. I'm so talented. I love him. Okay. Yeah, so he's noticing the way his mother talks, and he just doesn't like it. He doesn't like hearing her say crap about his father. It frustrates him, and so he, on his own, is having a lot of anger towards her because of the stuff she's doing. It has nothing to do with Ralph. And I think Edwin would feel even more frustrated at the fact that their mother just, not their mother, but his mother went off at Ralph. He'll be quite upset by that. It's like, I see you for what you are, and everything you do just proves it and validates it because that's the way you choose to act all the time. So, it's unfortunate, but that is that. Okay, next up, we have Ada. Oh, I guess Ada's already done what she wanted to do, but she wanted to chat with Edwin. So let's go find Edwin. This is a good segue. Let's go find Edwin. Let's talk about cool temperature, why not? Okay, I get so happy watching Jesse dance. Were you dancing? Why'd you stop? Be happy, my dude. Be happy. Okay. I don't know why everyone's surrounding Harvey. Is he throwing a tantrum? I'm not sure. But she is going to hopefully chat with him. Okay, you might have to just steal him from everyone. Brighten his day, maybe. So Ada wants to chat with Edwin about what's causing the rift between him and his mother. She can see it's been bothering Helen recently, but seeing Ada act this way after avoiding his questions the other day might annoy him. Because remember when we had was it the full moon? I'm taking a lot of breaks between these sections, like in real life, so I might become a little bit hazy on what I spoke about literally for you guys 10 minutes ago. But in the full moon, I'm pretty sure he was asking her about why she's so taken up with his mother and why that has to be a thing, why his mother's so adamant on being Ada's mistress. He's trying to figure these things out. He doesn't see where the appeal is and he wants to know. But I feel like Ada would have skimmed the topic and not really told him everything. It's not like she's gonna say, oh, your mother looks like my dead mate, and I am pretending like your mother is my dead mate because I really miss her and I couldn't have a proper relationship with her. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna tell Edwin that. So she would have skimmed the topic and probably just said something along the way of, we have feelings for each other, we understand each other, that's just the way it is in the werewolf pack, you'll understand, all of those kind of things. But then now she is trying to butt in. This is how it's going to look to Edwin. Ada's trying to butt in and talk him through his problems with his mother, like the family relationship. She's trying to do therapy for their family or some crap, and he's not gonna like that. I don't think he's gonna like it. He's gonna feel like she's butting in when she wasn't ready to open up. So it's none of her business. If she wants him to stay out of it, then she should stay out of it too. And finally, we have Queen Julia, who wants to ask Lady Ada about her day. So hold on. Let's come here and where is it? Small talk. Let's check in on Ada. Nice. Okay, Julia wants to check in about her involvement with the Empire family. So hold on a second. Normally, she wouldn't care to intervene, but she can see it's weighing on her wife's heart. Julia wants to tell Ada about her own experience having 2 wives and how disastrous it was to juggle too many commitments with various people. So everyone knows that Helen is Ada's mistress. It's like open. Everyone's aware of it. And nobody really has a problem with it in the wolf pack. Julia doesn't have a problem with it either, and she's never commented on it. Right? She doesn't care who Julia has a relationship with because at the end of the day, Julia's married to her. But she's starting to notice that Ada's getting a bit too involved with the members of the Empire family. She's getting too involved with Edwin's business. He doesn't like it. She's getting stressed all the time over Helen's business, even though her and Helen have like a terrible relationship at this point. So she's like in this pit that she can't get out of. It's like quicksand, right? Every time she struggles or, makes effort, she keeps going in deeper. So Julia finally feels like she should take Ada aside and tell her how stressful it is and how just, difficult it is to have so many relationships and commitments to juggle. She learned this early on. I mean, do you guys remember how flirtatious and what's going on here? What is going on here? I don't know what happened there. Guys, do you think Harvey heard how good... Okay, Edwin, that was very undignified. But do you think Harvey... Look at the face Harvey's making, like, that doesn't smell good. But, Harvey, do you think... Oh, they're continuing. Do you think he heard about Edwin being really good, and he thought to himself, okay, maybe I should train with him. And meanwhile, Elma is dancing in the background. He does not give a crap. He does not care. Elma's like, I'm loving life. Oh, also, I didn't realize, but look at Elma's clothes and look at the curtains. He is the curtain. Or the curtains are him. Who won? I wasn't paying attention. Darn it. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, well, regardless, it seems as though Harvey is like taking this whole alpha thing or the succession thing very seriously. Elma doesn't care. He's just like dancing next to that ball over there, that giant horse toy. He doesn't care. He's having the time of his life. Meanwhile, Harvey is taking everything like so seriously. Wow, Harvey. I'm so proud of him. This is such an unexpected twist for me, but I'm very proud of him. So yeah, that's what Queenie here was doing. Queenie was just trying to tell Ada that maybe she should, like, it's getting a bit too much. Now even the alpha is starting to notice that, Ada's getting in too deep. Ada's paying less attention to their marriage, more attention to, like, the Empire family, and the Empire family, it's not as though they, want her there in their business. So that's kind of how Julia feels about all of this. And, even though relationships have become such a mess at this point, I really like how complex everyone is. It's really, for me, exciting the fact that our Sims don't seem to have predictable arcs, at least not all of them. Some of them do, for sure, but a lot of them don't. They kind of go in all these interesting directions. Some Sims who start off terribly end up really well. Other Sims who start off, in such a promising light, they end up in the most strange place. So, anyways, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.